let's get to this big fight over the weekend. Absolute masterclass from both guys. So the first question we have to ask is, did the judges get it wrong? And how did you guys score the fight? So, Brother Coltrane, you want to go first?
Yeah. As we was talking off camera, we've been talking since the fight took place. I think when you have a close fight, when you have a clash of styles like what you had on Saturday, and you have two guys that really aren't opening up because both of them are fighting almost damn near like a perfect fight, where if I make one mistake, the margin of error is this slim. So I'm going to fight tactical and I'm going to fight practical. So when you have that, these fights are tough to judge. And that's what happened. And you can go through many tactical fights that we had in the past. I brought up James Toney and Mike McCollum, which was controversial back then. But if you really look at it, hindsight being 2020, it was a tactical fight where both guys wasn't going to open up and open themselves up to mistakes. I personally scored the fight for Bivol. I watched the fight again. Probably could have had it a draw, or either some swing rounds early on could have went Beterbiev way that I had to go Bivol way, and then Beterbiev win by 1 point. I just think when you got a close fight like this, fans are so accustomed, and Coach Moo put a post up about this. They're so accustomed to seeing overmatched opponents with the A-side fighter. When you finally get a 50-50 fight, see, we all grew up with big fights, with guys, fighting equal talent. It's so far in between you get that. So when you finally get it, you don't know how to react to it. So everybody's screaming the R word, and that wasn't the case here. It was a close fight that could have went either way. Definitely. And I had no problem with the decision.
How about you then, Coach Mustafa?
Man, I brother put people so used to blowing these guys up so much that they think these guys are infallible. Like Eddie Hearn just said that Dmitry Bivol is one of the most tactical fighters he has ever seen in his life. That's absurd to me. But when people hear that, and they're 22 years old, they don't know nothing about boxing. It's like, so they believe that everything that he's doing is perfect, and vice versa. They might believe that Tank Davis is perfect. He is flawless. Shakur is flawless. Usyk is flawless. Inoue is flawless. They get knocked down, they get bruised up, that don't matter. And so when they see him in a tough fight, they don't know what to think. The first thing they think is he got robbed. There's no way that he could lose. When, like I've been telling guys forever that it's a good quality fight. I had it at the time I watched it. Me and Tevin Farmer was side by side. We were going back and forth, and he would say that round go to. I'm like, nah, you tripping? That round go to so and so. And I had it. I didn't have Beterbiev losing. I had it either a draw or Beterbiev winning the fight. And my biggest reason was when you got close fights, you have to show that you want it more than the other person. And I believe when you got close rounds, nobody got knocked down. It's like both they are not trying to make no mistake. They both respect each other. I'm going to go for the guy, if I had to, the guy who initiative. So they will be either a draw or Beterbiev, because 10, 11, and 12, he showed that he was pushing. And he was much older, fresh off an injury, but he still had enough the mentality to keep going forward and throwing more punches. And even the coach, when he said he told him to keep going, I made that mistake once as well. I told my guy he's winning. My guy in the national championship to be winning the fight. He was winning and he lost. But I told my guy, the fight is over. You already won the fight. So I think it's like Mark Ramsey. Is it Ramsey on the coach?
Mark Ramsey, the coach of Beterbiev.
He told Beterbiev that we need a knockout. And we could talk X's and O's. We could talk about teachers, all right there. That was perfect. Loma got 2 losses, a big loss. He lost 12th round against Teofimo and against David Lomachenko admitted that he lost the 12th round because he thought he was winning. He wanted to win the fight. He lost both those fights because that one round. So Ramsey was spot on. I don't know. It's close. Virgil Holloway, Andre Ward for Kovalev. He said, I think you closed the gap. I'm not sure. It's a close fight. He said, I need every single round. The fight is too close. It was a good fight between Barry and Bivol. They both did a lot of good things. But for me, showing that you're trying to make yourself the winner, I would give it to Beterbiev.
Yeah, I mean, I scored it a draw, but yeah, I mean, you couldn't argue either way, could you? I mean, it's Beterbiev or Bivol or a draw. I think I would have been okay with any result.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
And it's almost, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the aggressive pressure fighter or the mover in Bivol? So it's a tough one, but
no right, no wrong, really.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. It's a shame someone had to lose.
I said sometimes your offense is that good, or your offense can be that good, or that fighter defense can be that much better, or vice versa. And sometimes I thought both guys did the right thing. It's just that when you got two great talents like you have, it's always going to be give and take and splitting hairs. It's like the glass is either half empty or half full.
Both Eastern European guys, so they have the same similar style. They don't do a lot of flipping and sliding. They block punches. Okay, they don't do.
They don't clinch, but they don't clinch.
They don't go to the body. Yeah. So it's like they mirrors, but they stripped are different. One is a boxer, one is a puncher, but the weight is so similar.
And Beterbiev is like, he's interesting because he's a puncher, but he got boxing tech. He got an IQ too. Yeah. And I even think some parts of that fight he shot Bivol like with a power jab. Like yeah. He staggered Bivol.
He took
with that.
I took power jab. That people keep saying how many jabs that Beterbiev threw, but they didn't land. So many times he was jabbing his hand, taking away Bivol's jab. That made Bivol stop jabbing. So but when the blind lead the blind, you'll never see the what is a touch jab. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just because one guy, maybe because he's dancing and boxing on the outside, it don't mean the other guy is not skilled. Canelo is very skilled going forward. Tyson was skilled going forward. But Beterbiev is skilled doing what he's doing. Duran was skilled. Triple G is skilled at that. Cut the ring off. Those are skills.
That's skills. So it's funny, right? You brought up Teofimo. So Teofimo, remember he complained Jermaine Ortiz ran around too much. Well, learn how to cut the ring off.
You never hear Triple G say that.
Or Beterbiev
know how to cut the ring off.
He could have easily said, "Look, I could have knocked him out, but he ain't sit still." But you didn't hear him say that because he took the ring. It's your job.
That probing jab to Bivol's hand, it's so Bivol can't jab.
Yeah.
But like so many things that because some of the old schools don't go on social media that people don't the art is being lost.
Absolutely.
The craft is being completely gone. So you think that he's not doing anything. Man, he's taking away Bivol's jab with the touch jab.
Yeah, and what you also have to take into account is that Beterbiev is a big puncher. So using that touch jab, it disguises his punches very well because Bivol now has to account for everything which is coming his way, whether it's slow or fast, touching or going hard. He's not going to know when that power shot's coming because Beterbiev doesn't need a big wind up to throw his punches.
No.
So it's very difficult to pick up on his punches.
Yes.
Power could be a gift and a curse, right? So how many times we saw guys, they go to that eliminated, like I don't want to pick on Wilder here, but let's use a guy like Deontay Wilder. If the power's being taken away from him, he gets frustrated and he get careless, right? But a guy like Beterbiev, he never got off script. Because there was opportunities, but then he didn't know if Bivol was playing pocket, trying to line him up for something.
Or even a guy like Tank who waiting on one big punch. So
right.
But Turner's working through that stuff.
It's a process. It's a process because he could have. That's what I was saying about is the respect there of not opening up because Bivol's a good counterpuncher. So I'm stuck here on this island trying to go for broke. I'm going to be left in the dust if I miscalculate this. If I miscalculate any shot, I'm going to be countered. And the fight, and Beterbiev could potentially be stopped. So that's why I said for me, from an IQ level, like the way they was not biting on each other, magic trick, like it was phenomenal to see two fighters actually stay the course and actually use more of this than more of this. It was a high level IQ fight on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it gets lost that Beterbiev has had 300 amateur fights, so he's clearly seen every style. He clearly knows what he's doing. Just to call him a puncher, a lot of people were saying the puncher versus
they did the same
was a disservice
thing to
him.
Triple G.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Similar fighters as well, aren't they? Golovkin and Beterbiev quite similar in their styles.
The funny thing about Triple G, and I don't want to go off track here, but the reason why they changed Triple G's style is because not a lot, but some of the Eastern European fighters, they don't like fighting on the inside. Like that was one of the things I was worried about Bivol. He's not an inside fighter. So they don't clinch. They don't really, if anybody look at Triple G amateur pedigree, his career rather, he fought like Dmitry Bivol. He was slipping and moving all over the place. But when he came to the pro ranks, and I guess because they probably figured he's going to be fighting a bunch of American fighters, they completely changed his entire style.
And Abel Sanchez.
Abel Sanchez.
Shout out to coaches. It's one out here, it's pretty prominent, very well-known coach is in America that he does not let his guy work on the inside, even in sparring. So they get here, he breaks them.
Wow.
And this is he's heavyweight, a real prominent coach. He does not allow them to work in the mid or close range.
That's the one thing.
You never learned that. You never learned, but Abel Sanchez taught him this stuff.
But what's his reasoning for that, though? Out of curiosity, why would a high-level coach tell his guys not to ever fight on the inside?
He wants his guys to be pure on the outside. He don't want them in the mix. If they get there, he wants them to be clinching immediately. Lock them up, no punches, get a break. I sparred against him one time. We kind of had no scuffle. I'm telling my guy, let your hands go. Get out the clinches, work.
Yeah, work.
I want my guy to be good in every range. You know what I'm saying?
That part. That's a bar right there. Every range.
He got world champion. So,
Yeah. No, I mean, but the thing about it, no doubt about it. But there's always room. We with teaching there's learning. There's always growth for whoever, But I just Bivol, like Artur, Lara, Winky Wright, long guard fighters. For him to fight at that pace, we got to remember this is a 35-year-old fighter fighting one of the best downhill fighters I've seen in quite some time in Artur Beterbiev. Like his press game is off the charts. And I just, leading up to the fight, I was like, well, how's he going to deal with this if he don't clinch? But he was able to fight in spurts. And maybe that cost him the fight. But I believe, this is just my personal opinion, I believe that was the only way he could probably fight this fight the way he fought it. If he stays on that X a glimpse of a second than what he did when he decided to open up, he probably gets knocked out and he never gets knocked down and he never gets up again. Because I believe if Bivol would have got hurt, like seriously hurt in that fight, I don't believe he gets up because, Beterbiev was just a closer, But the mere fact that he was able to fight from that particular range, the way he was able to do it, I was just shocked that he was able to do that for 36 minutes. Now listen, he did coast the last 2 or 3 rounds. But the flip side of that is, I never forget something Bernard said, there's no timeouts in that boxing ring. You can't say, coach, let me get this timeout. So we taught in America, wrap up. That's just how fighters are taught here. Wrap up, try to buy some time. But Bivol, he wasn't trained that way. So his buying time is just getting on the bike and lateral, stage left, stage right. Because that pressure, because I just saw this interview with Bivol. They said, well, what shocked you the most about Beterbiev? He said he never stops. Remember people used to say that about Chavez. He never stopped working. You don't get no break in there. So
and he's
he might have had to get on that bike. Which they
40
moved
years old.
40 years. So that bike
from knee surgery.
So he might have that bike might have been my point. I'm driving home here, and I'm gonna pass it to Moo. That bike might have been the only option to save you from getting stopped. So
because he didn't know anything else.
Yeah, they're not taught to hold and grab and all that stuff.
Did you see in the first round? I'm not sure we picked up on it. In the first round, Beterbiev was intentionally treading on Bivol's front foot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. A lot of gaming shit was going on in there. Yeah. You gotta watch that fight probably like 5 times to pick up on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of little nuances happening.
Things, man. So many things that you know what I'm saying. You could learn from it. And you can see that they could do much better in a rematch.
All due respect, thing. That fight needs to be in America. The next one, I'm telling you, it would do crazy. It wouldn't. The phone calls I got about that fight. Yeah. I just think it should be in neither guy's from America. I just think that it could do great business here.
Yeah, I think America is still the home of boxing, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's where you're going to get the best crowd, so to speak. Probably get more fans in Wembley.
I mean that too. I'm definitely not denying.
America is the big market, isn't it? That's where you
Vegas,
want to fight these big.
I just think, hey Moo, tell me this: I haven't had this much traction from a fight. I was shocked how many people was tuned into it that wasn't boxing fans.
I realized something when it comes to Loma and Bivol. Oh my god.
Oh
my god! Ooh, they crazy.
But it was.
They fans die hard. They fans die hard, man.
The good thing about it, FaZe, was that everybody, for the most part, thought Beterbiev was going to knock Bivol out, or Bivol was going to have his way with him, boxing him late in the fight, and neither happened. We got the latter. So I think it overexceeded expectation, unfortunately. And Andre Ward was passionate about this. The commentary of boxing, is atrocious at times. I try to get them guys breaks, but the mere fact that you got professional boxers saying that, this fight didn't live up to his expectations. Like, because what? Because nobody got knocked out or knocked down? Like, it's still a sweet science. It's the science of boxing. That's
another thing, too, is that, okay, think about the last few undisputed fights, okay? Crawford and Errol. Crawford and Errol pretty bad, okay?
One-sided affair.
Usyk and Fury. Usyk had a really good round. Almost stopped.
Yeah.
In the win, Fulton. So it's almost like
a good point. That's a good point, Mo. I ain't think about that. Yeah.
So it's getting spoiled in the fact that, okay, listen, it's not going to be a Crawford Errol every time.
No, and that's what people were thinking
every time. Like, I wasn't a fight as good as it was a good fight, but people looking for supreme dominancy. Like, bro, because they're too much of a fans of certain fighters. Like, it's not going to always be like that. These fights are going to be quality. Both guys confident, both alphas, not giving up nothing. Bivol, I've heard, but going down with Bivol's mind wasn't going down. He was taking them shots. He was not.
Was you shocked? Like, because a couple times through, I said he get ready to go, and then he will open up and pull a Ray Leonard.
I'm not going for none of that. So two supremely confident, strong alphas that's coming, and we saw a good fight. It don't mean it wasn't a good fight. People have become spoiled again because I think we've seen the blowouts. We've seen Crawford completely destroy Errol. You've seen Inoue do Fulton dirty. So it's like, but that's just two good guys that fought. It just means that neither one of them are way better than the other. Don't mean it's a bad fight. It's a good fight.
You think that
in the real days that was normal?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I said, do you think that, like, kind of where we at in boxing now with the careful hand-picking opponents to build up your A-side fighter, it's the culture, and then it's the Floyd aspect where these guys are obsessed with their O's. This
Yes.
wasn't Floyd's fault, but indirectly because he put a lot of stock in it. His thing was more of a selling marketing technique because he didn't knock people. He had to figure out another way to lure people in. So I'm gonna brag about my own and I'm gonna brag about my fight game. But what happened was these younger guys forgot about all the other stuff that he does, putting the work into being the fighter that he was, and they just want to be up here, but not going down there first to get up here.
Yes.
Yeah. So what about the body punching then? So going to the fight, a lot of people were saying Beterbiev is going to use the body punching to slow Bivol down. So early on, he didn't really throw many body punches, but towards the end, he did. So why do you think he did not start the body punch until later on? I heard the sort of reasoning being that, well, he might get countered by it. You throw a jab, you might get countered by it. You said it, learn to set up a different way. You try a different way of throwing it, or a different type of jab, or a different setup. He didn't even really attempt to throw many body punches. If he did get countered, then I'm sure he would have figured out another way to set him up. So why do you think he didn't really attack the body early on, but later on down the stretch, he had a lot of success doing it, and Bivol was in a tight, high guard. It wasn't like when Bivol was fighting Canelo, where the hands will come down a little bit because he wasn't worried as much because Canelo's not as big and strong as Beterbiev. With Beterbiev, his guard was high and tight. He was open more to body shots. So why do you think that body shot was not as common or expected as we thought it'd be, as much as we thought it'd be? Coltrane, go first.
I was saying the whole week, I don't think either of them showed greatness that night. It was a great fight, but I've seen Beterbiev be better than that, and vice versa. He should have went to the body. Should have went to the body early and heavy. When he caught him up here, he should have hit the body. But that's also not really a big thing in Eastern European style. That's not. That's
right. Yeah, we got to remember the culture.
But if you imagine that fight against Dwight Muhammad Ali, he would have been pounding the Bivol's body. He would have been working up and down. But again, we live in different eras. He's not used to that. Also, I believe that Bivol, he let him take a jab away from him. He backed up too much. So even though it was a good fight, I think that I've seen Bivol fight better than that before. I've also seen Beterbiev fight better than that before as well. I believe that too much respect for Beterbiev, for Bivol. Because you're right, he didn't go to the body that much. I would think that he overthought a little bit too much.
I think maybe these two are such good fighters.
Yeah, they
almost cancelled each other out in a way, and they gave each other too much respect. Understandable because there's no threats from either one.
I got a theory on a few things that takes place in fights like this. I think when you fight another elite talent, you prepare for round 13, right? That's what they used to say back in the day. Like, I'm gathering information because I know we're gonna have to run this back. So I'm not gonna show too much. Let me process, let me download. And then for the rematch, I'm gonna carry it over what I didn't do in the first fight because they was feeling it was like even Beterbiev attempted to do a counter pull. Like he tried to set a counter pull up. I'm like, the traps that each fighter is setting for each other is crazy. Like the exchange was the key sign to me because in the past, like Moose said, like you would see Beterbiev obviously open up when he was fighting, Marquis, what's the guy he fought? Marcus Brown, like guys like that. But with all due respect to Marcus Brown, he's not Dmitry Bivol, where he's a superb counterpuncher. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about the body shot, right? And I said this leading up to Cotto and Margarito, because everybody was like, well, Cotto going to dig to Margarito body. I said the only problem with that is when you commit to the body, you're in long-term parking. Ain't no loading zone parking when you commit to the body. So you got to be in and out. So when you commit to just a glimpse of an extra second against a guy like Artur against a guy like Bivol, pardon me, like you do run the risk of potentially being countered, because you got to get timing and all that stuff got to get down pat. Now, as the fight progressed on and Bivol started to lose a little bit of steam, he did start touching his body up a little bit more. But I just think that when you're this elite and you're fighting another elite, there's more to be desired. Like rent still due. There's still money that's due on this fight.
Too much respect.
Yeah, a lot of respect. And it's the Because even though Bivol's not a big puncher, you know the punches that hurt too. The ones you don't see.
Yeah.
You know. So Beterbiev was 10 toes down too. He was very leery and he was very cautious. Like, you're not catching me with no meatball shot I don't see.
Yeah. But in hindsight, I'm pretty sure I'm probably did the same things that he should have went to work.
Yeah. The next fight though, like now, they gonna flip it.
Oh, you thought I lost this fight? Okay, I'm gonna show you.
You know
what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of boxing. See, some people, they so emotional. Oh, what's wrong? I hate boxing.
Yeah.
I love to see guys, both show who they are, go back home, reassess what happened, come with a new game. I believe 100% probably, but Beterbiev knows that he gave too much respect. But again, that's also his biggest fight of his career. And nervousness, overthinking happens to anyone. You know what I'm saying? It happens to both guys going through that. It don't mean that they ain't human. You know what I'm saying?
It's a human.
Okay, I know what I got to do next time. I gave him a little too much respect. And so I think Bivol could have gotten that jab. Bivol could have did a lot more work too. When he was going forward, he did well.
Yeah, that's funny. But
Bivol was forward. Bivol was doing pretty good, but he wasn't consistent with it. It was so, for me, it was too.
I think he was worried about what might come back because he knows better.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Emmanuel still would have said, "Go get him."
Yeah, it's a fight, right? I always bring up, right, Coach Lou, because like you can equate it to all like any fight, really, but specifically the conversation we having now, and is Meldrick Taylor when he fought Julio Cesar Chavez. That's an entirely different fight. And you talked about fighting from distance. You said you like to teach your fighters to fight from any distance, any range. Meldrick was way too talented to be fighting Chavez in that closer proximity. Even though he was the faster guy and the more athletic guy, he was getting timed in the process, and he stayed too long.
No clinching, no pushing,
but you got to get in and out of the pocket.
Yeah.
Was that more the Philly mentality?
But
they're fighters through and through. If you want to stand and fight with them, the Philly guys will fight you. And I think Meldrick Taylor, sometimes that got, when he fought Chavez, he wanted to show him.
No, that's what I am.
It's part of what makes the Philly fighter so good.
Meldrick, but Meldrick was a unique Philly fighter. We wasn't used to a guy like him. Our guys was gritty. They was more like a Bernard type. They wasn't the most talented dudes, but they got the most talent out of their body. Well, Meldrick has some God-given abilities.
Johnson type guys, really, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Like Meldrick was like the fast. Other than Roy, I've never seen a fighter faster than Meldrick. I saw him running along Kelly Drive.
But that's what makes Philly.
Yeah.
They coming. They cocky. They mean. They coming. It is what it is. So,
Meldrick Taylor's hand speed was. I haven't seen anyone throw punches as fast as he did in combinations. There was a time where unbelievable.
No, but anyway, so what I was saying was that in that particular fight, distance is everything in a boxing ring. Like I saw Shakur say something about Devin Haney after he lost to Ryan Garcia. He was like, Devin is way too talented to be fighting Ryan Garcia that close in range. He said sometimes you just got to hear the fans boo you, and you got to fight at a comfortable pace and a comfortable distance. Like he's like, there's no way you should be that close in range when you got that type of, those type of abilities. Yeah. A jab, right? So Larry Holmes, and I always say this, right? The jab can be used as multiple things. It can be used as an offense and a defensive mechanism. So when you park that jab and probing, like as I saw Bivol probing, but he didn't keep it out long enough. I thought they should have kept it out a little longer, but he was so busy worrying about what was coming back. He didn't probe it long enough. But Larry Holmes said the jab can be used like a kickstand. You use it to buy time. So that could kind of be a supplement for clinching, probing a jab. Like I'm gonna put this jab and just put it out there so I can just catch a little break real quick.
He stopped jabbing. Frown like, man, what are you doing?
Like, but again, but now, like I said, a lot of this stuff is culturally based. Yeah, I don't know like how these guys are trained early on, and so It's just different. To ask a 35-year-old to start doing stuff he never did ever in his life, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's a fine line because Bivol was getting the better of a number of exchanges, but if he got too greedy, he knew
False sense
something
of
would be coming
security.
back.
Yeah, false sense of security. That's the dummy move. That's what Gervonta does to people. I'm gonna let you think you getting off, and then I'm gonna pull out a power tool from the trunk.
But also he do that against certain kind of people.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
I believe that Bivol a little more. He could have stopped Beterbiev.
It was what round was that move? He opened up and he staggered Artur better.
Yes.
I forget
Yes.
what round, and he didn't follow up to see what was home.
I mean, sharp punches. Bivol impressed me a lot. You know
oh no, like if anybody is questioning what's in here, like that dude shows some heart in that fight. I still don't know how he did that. Like I'm sitting here watching because I do it every round.
It's mentality thing. I told bro time, like it's mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ali said Foreman didn't hit hard. He said,
yeah.
Gore said Kovalev wasn't the hardest hitter he fought against.
Yeah,
it's my watch. It's like once you believe it, it's whatever. Let's go. So it's almost like I gotta psych myself out in my adrenaline pump. After the fight, I'll feel the bruises. I'll be hurt, everything. But for these 36 minutes, it is what it is. And you have to go there mentally to be able to take what this is, because if not, Beterbiev, he said something. People said that the other guys he fought, they kind of got caught up in the aura, the mystique.
Yeah, that happens.
They got, I mean, of course, this Joker got all knockouts. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't think about that.
Only for
is you go really shell up. You'll go survival mode, and he's going to catch you. So you have to. It is what it is. Not saying get wrecked. Not saying don't get like rolling. Don't get crazy.
No, I ain't never gonna do that.
Keep them 1-2, 1-1-2. You know.
Well, they very cheap with their money. They're very frugal. They don't waste a lot in that ring. No. So that's another thing. Like all they punches are accounted. Like all the money's accounted
all
for.
Of it's accounted for. It's time.
All accounted for. Like, and that's the beauty of me. Like, cause Mo, we like to we geek out over this type of stuff. To see fighters not leaving their feet, throwing wild haymakers, swatting at flies, just because like nobody abandoned posts.
Oh,
everybody stayed on posts.
They played it safe.
The cover was never bare. Everybody stayed home in this fight.
But sometimes if Bivol admitted it, he should have handled more. If Usyk and Fury, when Usyk was losing, what did he do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going forward. The game plan doesn't change. I'm not.
And he let Fury off the hook. In my personal opinion, I think he got kind of psyched out. Like, oh, this dude plays a lot of games with people.
Yes,
Fury's ready. Even though that count was crazy and that whole sequence was wild. But Fury I thought he could have put Tyson Fury out of his misery in that round.
Yeah. Yes, he could.
Yeah. The ref let it go on too long, and then when when he was there for a taking, he stopped it.
But again,
get him a break.
But the respect, like Moose said, like in your mind, you're like, no, I seen him do this against other people. I'm not gonna be that one,
Yeah. It's almost like the boxers now are nicer than they were before. You know what I'm saying? like, they was mean back in the day, man.
Julian Jackson get on top of you. It's a wrap.
Julian Jackson. Lennox Lewis, he gonna finish you.
Terry Norris. Like we had some guys that were good closers, you know what I mean, when they got on you. I think that again, he fought being though they're both from the same background, like pedigree wise, he like, no. I know this style. I'm not falling for it. Like because a couple of times I thought before I was out, and then he let off a quick.
Imagine Matthew Sad Muhammad in that fight.
Ooh, are you taking it there, huh?
If Matthew Sad Muhammad goes to war with Beterbiev, I don't think he comes out better. I think Beterbiev takes him out because
but I'm saying
Sam Hubbard was very vulnerable.
Yeah. But I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, listen, these guys.
He wouldn't be extra hair.
Yeah.
As good as Sam Muhammad was, he got involved with too many exchanges, and he got hurt too many times.
They were mean.
The pedigree, the talent was different too, though. Back then, the talent level, like, not to take anything away from the talent level now, but back then, like, you might have a guy ranked 13.
It was a great era. Yeah, the 70s, 38 was a great era of light heavyweights. Beterbiev and Bivol, those two, I think they'd fit in with any era, don't you think? The light heavyweights.
Oh no, I always feel like great fighters can fight in any era, no matter what era. Yeah, but to his point, I do, the guys, like I always say this, not to jump off subject, but like the 90s heavyweights, I put a post up, people get mad. I'm like, I don't think a lot of those guys could hang then, because it was all about short work.
It's so many fighters, so many good heavyweights. Yeah, so many good heavyweights.
We've never seen anyone not respect material power.
Right.
That's entry one. Like
great point. Yeah.
If he flipped the script and went at him, that was shot Beterbiev. Like, what the world? Like,
he's a big joker. He a big joker.
These Russian fighters, what their mentality is locked in. I think it's a different mindset as well to a lot of other fighters.
But
they're tough guys to beat mentally and physically. And for Beterbiev, 300 amateur fights, knocked everyone out. Now undisputed champion. It's a tough
for
fight
last
for
15,
guys like
for the last
15
years. I probably guarantee nobody jumped on Beterbiev. No one has. Not saying he'll win, but I'm saying the entry.
Do we know that the chances are they may have tried it and they just got shut down pretty quickly? That's probably why.
I don't think many have even tried it. Because now you barely see guys like Boots. Everybody's scared of Boots. Nobody's jumping on Boots, even in the gym sparring. Nobody's going to go to him. They're going to try. They're going to try to survive. They're hearing stories of him. They're going to try to survive him. When I believe that, a guy like, even though he probably would get knocked out, we will see him jump on Beterbiev. Even Buddy said that, the last man said that, you gotta go to those guys. Like Fury jumped on Wilder. He had to jump on Wilder. I mean, Wilder is all of that. Yes, he's a killer. But I only have one option if I want to win. Because
you got to take that risk. Yeah, sometimes you just bite the bullet, don't you?
Bivol fought well, but in my opinion, he lost. He did fight well, but a guy that can punch, coming at you, like, God, dog, what do? You can box good. He got a good jab. He blocks strong. Like, what do you can't, the back heel, you're gonna lose. So, not saying be reckless, but see if you can fight going backwards. The brother told you about Julian Jackson and Mike McCallum, and how Mike didn't want to go forward.
Yeah.
Georgie Ben said, "Go forward." If you want to win, you cannot win that way because he's a boxer puncher. Beterbiev is boxing well. He is a little slow. So what? But he's not getting brought to water.
I think that this is my personal opinion. I think this is one of them fights, bro. They could fight 30 times.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe 3 out of 30, we might get a defiant. Like, I just think that the style, their class, sometimes it's just a perfect mess of styles that makes it imperfect. It's
beauty. It's a perfect blend of styles, wasn't it? They just cancel.
Unless somebody get old or get clipped. Then I mean, obviously anything can happen. But let's talk about the conditioning, right? So young fighters should be ashamed of themselves, right? So we watch 25-year-old gas out after 5 rounds, right?
Yes.
You had 80 years worth of age in that stage on Saturday night on stage. I don't think I saw somebody get tired.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some tired. I'm not going to say they wasn't because I'm sure you got to be a little bit, but it wasn't evident. Like it wasn't like, telling where like guys is huffing and puffing. Like I'm like the conditioning that. So all them workout videos that we be seeing, them dudes do. See, they take care of themselves. It's real. You know,
Real.
those
Hypothetical. If this was a 15-round fight, do you think Beterbiev has another knockout on his record?
he probably stops Bivol. This is a 15-rounder.
So then, do you think in the rematch, Beterbiev's got the upper hand already? As you say, he's downloaded that data. He knows what to do now. He come off stronger in the second half of the fight. Do you think the rematch, if they go, is going to go one way?
I thought that with Kelly Pavlik and Jermaine Teller. I was like, he's going to stop him earlier, but Jermaine played keep away and survived. So you never know how this stuff going to play out. But then, you look at other fights with guys in the rematch, they did completely different. Look at Tarver and Roy, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that probably led up to that Roy being stopped, but it's tricky. Just going by the information and the data that I know, and we just talking on paper, I just think that, like Coach Moose said, what's up here, like the mental intel, like the intel of these guys, like, is deeply rooted. They just don't make a lot of mistakes, and they're okay with it. Like some American fight with a lot of pride and machismo. I don't think these are two social media guys. I could be wrong. I don't know. I never looked on their social media pages, but I don't think they argue with fans on Twitter, right? No. So they don't care what nobody thinks. So they're going to fight the fight that fits best to their needs, and I just think that that's how it's kind of going to be.
So about the ring generalship of the fighters, who do you think commanded the ring better, Beterbiev or Bivol? Coltrane, you want to carry on?
Again, one of these subjective questions that got subjective answers. And like Moose said, it all depends on what you prefer. I know Moose, he respects the downhill, like, you can't just go on survival mode. Me, on the flip side, I'm actually okay with Bivol did, because sometimes you gotta put
fan.
What you say?
You're a Penal-Whittaker fan.
Yeah, I'm about to say, who some of my favorite fighters are. So, but my thing is this, right? You can't hide in the boxing ring, right?
Just to carry on from that.
Yeah.
I think the way that Bivol boxed is almost perfect. The way he moved around. Do you think he can box better than that if they have a rematch? That movement. Do you think he can move better than that?
No. I don't think he should move like this much time. This much. I think he should get. He should jab more and stay in the middle more. I believe he moved like he did this time. I believe he'll get stopped.
Yeah, because I think Beterbiev, he's pretty confident now. He's got his number, hasn't he?
And he probably gonna be a little more want to make a statement, because all this talking about he got robbed. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna really try to put him down. I think he should work on some head movement and try to rumble a little bit more. Still move his feet, but you gotta have a blend of that, because Sugar Ray Tommy Hurst and Sugar Ray's losing. All that moving. And when Dundee told me you're losing that kid, and you look at those rounds, Sugar Ray stopped moving. He bit down, blocked him in the right hand, started countering. And he had to, or he would have got blown out the water, he would have got hurt and got knocked out. Now I believe that would hurt Duran when Duran fought Tommy Hurst. Duran played the ropes and Tommy knocked him out. So I believe that he would have to just a little bit more offense.
He's going to have to take a risk in. He's going to have to find out whether he can stand up to Beterbiev's power, and he's going to have to risk that. That big counterpunch.
If he did pretty good this time, wasn't enough, in my opinion. Beterbiev is going, unless he gets old overnight or dramatically, he got at least one more good fight in him. And think about something. He fought this fight 5 months later of having knee surgery.
Yeah. So
more time to get it more healthy, get it stronger, more confident in it.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, he's turning 40 in a few months. But like Coltrane mentioned, Bernard Hopkins, these guys have lived clean lifestyles their whole lives. Yes. So they can probably last a little bit longer, as opposed to someone who hasn't been doing the same. Beterbiev doesn't smoke or drink or
probably never did.
Late nights, that sort of thing. Yeah. So he's definitely got a few more fights in him, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm. So in terms of tactics, then, if they have a rematch, that would be your main difference in approach for Bivol. Just be more aggressive,
Be more aggressive.
stand and deliver more.
A little bit more. Not he said that he should have threw more shots. Jab, low jab, high, throw the right hand. Jab, left hook, right hand, 1-2-1. But just don't allow him to do what he did so much, because I believe he'll see that he should have to the body more. I believe Beterbiev, and he got a good coach. He got Ramsey. He got
It's got the Iceman, John Scully.
Scully, good coaches. So, and Beterbiev, again, 300 amateur fights, 2-time Olympian. He's very intelligent. He's going to see where he went wrong at. So you cannot fight that fight again, because, again, he's going to come back better. So Bivol fought phenomenal as far as what you should do against that guy. And that wasn't enough. So add a little bit more heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think Bivol fought an excellent fight. I had a draw, but I think Bivol fought excellently. Can he fight just as well in a rematch? That's a big question, to pull off that movement twice in a row against that caliber of opponent. It's a tall order. It's a tough ask.
Again, who's going to probably come better? He's going to see the body work. He's going to see everything we're talking about. His coach is probably already watching the film and reviewing the fight. I'm pretty sure Scully already watched it. I'm pretty sure they thinking about it. Any coach would do that. Any coach is going to say, let me go back and look at what could I have done better? What could I have prepared more for? Where can I improve? And he's going to come back better. So he better come back better too.
Yeah.
Don't come at the same thing.